Welcome back to Cocktails with Kate. I'm Kate,
And I'm her mom.
and today we are doing something a little different. We're going to see The Devil Wears Prada 2.
I'm super excited about this because The Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies.
I can't tell you how many times we've watched The Devil Wears Prada 1 together, so it seemed fitting to watch the 2, the prequel, the sequel.
The prequel.
The sequel.
The sequel. And I'm hoping it's as good as the first one because, a lot of times the sequels aren't. But
It's going to be as good.
So we're going to go in, get some snacks, get some drinks, watch the movie, and then afterwards we will kind of break it down in a way that won't spoil it for you because we don't want to spoil it for anybody, but we'll give you our thoughts. So
Sounds
see you
good.
soon. All right, so we are back from the movie, and as promised, we're going to give our review of The Devil Wears Prada 2 without giving you any spoilers or telling you about the plot or anything that might have happened in the movie. So, production value. How did you feel like overall? Did you feel like the acting was good?
I mean, it's Meryl Streep and Hathaway. Like, how are you going to not have good acting?
Good point. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
good point. Yep. Yeah, I can't think of anything that disappointed me. I never once felt like it was a low budget film or like, I felt like even 20 years later.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, 20 years later, the character dynamics still felt the same.
Yeah.
It still felt like they just picked it. Like, it could have been 20 years. It could have been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I wasn't sure how they were going to, 20 years later, were they going to try to make it seem like they were filming it 2 weeks later? Or, I'd seen the trailers, so I kind of had an idea, but
I purposely did not watch the trailers.
I did not watch all of them. There were so many. I did not watch all of them.
My husband has enlightened me to the fact that trailers nowadays give you the entire movie. It's not just like a teaser. You get the whole plot. So I purposely stayed away from
Yeah.
all trailers, all previews, anything.
Now, I did not watch all of the trailers, and I thought that based on the ones that I had seen, I had an idea of where the movie was going, and that idea was wrong.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, so it's The Devil Wears Prada 2. By the way, did you notice my sunglasses?
I did notice them. They're Prada. I'm not sure what you're trying to insinuate there, but listen, you are wearing Prada.
Okay. I see where you're going there.
I didn't do it.
I'm just saying. Gotta have my Prada sunglasses when we're talking about The Devil Wears Prada. Okay, we can't talk about The Devil Wears Prada 2 without talking about the fashion. Not that either one of us is a fashionista by any sense of the word. But what did you think?
I was confused about a lot of the outfits, so I guess they were right there.
Good way. That's a good way to say that. Yes. Yes. There were some outfits that I was like, okay,
Yeah,
that's a choice.
it's bold.
It's a
That's
choice.
what fashion is, right? I
It's
guess.
a choice. And there were some that I thought, that's cute. I could 100% wear that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, fashion was on point. Did you think that it was kind of on point with the first? A lot of times, like I said before we went in the theater, a lot of times sequels just aren't as good. They just miss the mark, even if it's just a little bit. Did you feel like the sequel was on point with the original?
Okay, big picture, yes. I feel like there were a couple of moments that you expected something to be said or something to happen that like lined up with the first, like tied it in, and that did not happen. So I was a little disappointed in that, but there were a lot of full circle
Yes.
things that brought it all together from even the intro of the second one tied in with the first.
Yeah.
Like it was
I felt that way, yes, along the whole movie.
Yes.
It's like they tried to take bits of the first movie and incorporate them
Yes.
into the second movie, and I think they did a phenomenal job of doing that. So I was really worried because I really love The Devil Wears Prada, the original. You've talked about how many times you've watched it with me. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it by myself. I have seen that movie so many times, and I thought, gosh, I hope this doesn't disappoint. I don't feel like it did it all for me. I think because they did such a good job tying in the first movie, they were almost two separate movies. You could watch the second one without watching the first one.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know any different.
Yeah, you wouldn't be missing anything.
No, but when you watch both of them together, you feel like you're gaining something by watching the second one.
Absolutely, and that's what a sequel should do, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I will say it's difficult to find movies that my husband and I are both like excited about and interested in together. And he has sat down and watched the first one with me numerous times.
Yeah.
And he's excited to watch this one, but I told him he couldn't. He had to stay home because it was our day.
That's right. I went out this time. Overall thoughts.
Absolutely amazing.
I agree.
I can't wait to watch it again.
I agree. I think everyone should watch it. If you liked the first one and you're on the fence of, do I watch the second one? Which, I mean, let's be real. If you like the first one, you're going to watch the second one. You waited 20 years to watch the second one. Why wouldn't you?
That was also a sad fact. Like, they pointed that out.
She didn't realize that. She didn't realize it was 20 years ago.
And I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I feel old.
No, it was so well done. You know, when you watch the first one, and when you watch the first one, you didn't really think that something might have been missing at the end. When you watch the second one, nothing's missing at the end. This was a good way to wrap it up. I'm so glad they kept the same characters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they couldn't have done it if they didn't keep the same characters, right? It certainly would not have been the movie that it was. I mean, Meryl Streep, all of them. Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci.
Emily Blunt.
Yep. Yes. I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And Emily Blunt's character, I didn't expect her to have the role in the second one that she did, but it was great.
Yeah.
I loved what they did with her character.
And I walked in there with a preconceived notion of what her role was going to be in this movie, and I was okay with it. I thought that my preconceived notion would have been a good plot, would have been satisfying. And I was every bit as happy with how they did it, even though it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was great.
It really was.
So all in all, go see it. It was a fantastic movie. I'm so glad we saw it. Well, I was going to ask what your favorite part was, but we can't ask that because it's, you know what? My favorite part was the company that I was there with. That was my favorite part.
I'm just kidding.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Same.
Caitlin did crack a joke when we were walking in there.
Okay, now let's talk about movies. Let's talk about movies from a generational standpoint because I have not been to the movies with anyone other than my mom. I mean, like I've been with like Nanny, but like I've never been.
You and Randall have never been to a movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm
surprised.
We don't do movies anymore.
You just watch them at your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
On streaming services.
Okay.
From bed.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Or from the outdoor TV.
Yeah.
But no, I think that that's like a previous generation type thing to go to the movies. And I grew up doing it. My husband grew up doing it. So it's not like I'm not part of that generation, but my kids won't really grow up doing it, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, they will.
You think they're going to go to movies?
Yes, I'm going to take them.
Our daughter would be like, ah! Our daughter would
I'm not taking her now.
Running around the theater.
I'm not going to take her now.
All right. But no, traditionally when you go to the movies, you like went to the little box office thing and you told them what movie you were going to see and they printed off your ticket, you paid them, whatever. And now you do everything online. Yeah. So we booked these tickets last week.
Yeah.
And you pick your seat that you want. So nobody's going to take those seats away from us. We got our pick of the theater because we did this a week ago. So all of the stressful components, I think, have been taken out. And then you buy your tickets online so you have a QR code. And she's over here printing that out on paper, wasting trees and ink. I'm like, you have a smartphone. You just, here you go. Here's my ticket. And that's it.
So yes, I always have a concern that what if something happens to my electronic device? So
I
I have
going
my
to happen to your piece of paper a lot sooner than
no,
it's going to
that
happen to
piece
your
of paper was tucked safely away in my purse, and all I had to do was whip it out if I needed it. Which also, let's be honest, I may or may not have smuggled a couple of soft drinks, because those tickets are expensive, and then the food and the drinks. I bought the popcorn, and I bought a large popcorn.
You did.
I feel like that's justified. I shouldn't have to buy popcorn and soda, $20 a pop. So I might have smuggled in a couple of soft drinks, and I didn't want to be rummaging around for my phone.
No, just for your paper that's getting wet with the condensation from the soft drink cans.
Nah, it's fine. That was fine.
The ink's going to bleed on that QR code, and they're not going to be able to scan it. And then what are you going to do? You're going to pull it up on your phone.
Do you think that's a generational
in your
thing?
pocket.
Do you think that's a generational thing to smuggle things? Because my grandmother would have 100% done that.
I mean, I don't know, because I've learned that from you. So I would do that.
Tell me, is that a generational thing?
Anything to save a few dollars.
What?
Anything to save a few dollers. And I bought it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like I stole it from somewhere. Like, I bought it just from a different place.
I know Gen X does this. Does anybody from Gen Z smuggle food or drinks into the movie theater? Or do you even go to a movie theater? Because now we're learning that maybe Gen Z doesn't even go to a movie theater anymore.
Z.
You're Gen Z.
I don't think that's right.
You are.
All right.
Google it.
Okay.
Closing thoughts. Overall, if you had to give it a rating, 0 to 5 stars, how many stars would you give it?
Oh, definitely 5. But I think if it came out today, if it wasn't a sequel to a movie that we watched and it had that sentimental aspect, I think maybe like 4, 4.5. But because it's got that, it's 20 years later and they brought back the same character, like they put work into this movie. So that gives it an extra star for me, for sure.
On its own, I would give it 5 stars, even if it wasn't a sequel. Now, I will agree with the point you made earlier. There were some points in the movie where I was like, oh, this is where they're going to deliver that line. And then the line wasn't delivered. But that's okay. It was still good.
Yeah, it was great.
It was well worth it.
I can't wait for it to come out on a streaming service so that I can stream it and watch it all over again.
I will say real quick, one of the things that I was somewhat concerned about was 2 hours, sitting in a 2-hour movie, because I've done that before, and it's like, oh my gosh, they could have made this movie a half an hour shorter and it would have still been fine.
And I was thinking like credits, right? Like credits and everything were gonna roll at an hour and a half, and it was gonna be like 30 minutes of credit. No, it is a 2-hour movie.
And it could have been 2.5 hours and I would have still sat there and watched it. It was great. You have to go see it.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That's going to be it for us.
So go call your mom and book your tickets.
That's right.
On your phone. Don't print them.
Until next time.
Bye.